Hi, I'm Maddie Smith from West Johnson. I've been sewing for about a year now, and today I wanted to teach you how to embroider on a sewing machine. First, you're gonna need some fabric, a tool to get off the foot, some fabric chalk, an embroidery hoop, and of course, the sewing machine. Then you're gonna need to adjust your sewing stitch to a zigzag stitch, your length to about a 1, and then you're going to adjust your width to about a 4, and then you're also going to need to change your needle position to the right, and then your tension should be at about a 5.5. Next, you're going to take that tool and then you're going to take off the foot, and all you have to do is loosen that screw, and usually just pops off like that, and you just take it off. Okay, for embroidery hoops, you have a 4-inch, 5-inch, and 8-inch. I'm using the 5-inch in this one, and you just unscrew it, and it usually just pops off. And you put your fabric over it, and make sure the nut is on the opposite side that you're not going to be sewing on, and then you just press it in place. Make sure it's tight, and then you press it back down and tighten the screw back up. Now it's time to draw your embroidery. I am using embroidery chalk, and it comes off right after you put some water on it. You have to make it thick so you can see it though. Additionally, we're going to need to thread our needle, and every sewing machine is different. I currently have the Singer heavy duty machine, and it has instructions right on top of the machine telling you each step of how to thread your needle. Most sewing machines will have numbers that you can tell where your thread needs to go next. And then you get to the bottom and you just poke it through the hole of the needle and make sure it's going towards the back and not in front of you so that it leaves a correct stitch. Then you're going to need to thread your bobbin, and you do that by releasing your needle down into the sewing machine, and it takes the bobbin thread and it pulls it up, and you wait for this loop to come out, and you pull the loop and it releases your bobbin thread. It takes a long time, but eventually you'll get it. Finally, we're ready to begin sewing. So next you take your fabric and the hoop and you place it on the opposite side, making sure there's no fabric underneath, and then you put your feet back on and screw it very tightly, making sure it's not going to come out. And then you place it so that you're going to go straight. You're not going to be going backwards your first stitch, so you need to make sure it's going straight towards you. And then you're going to want to release your bobbin by threading the needle through the fabric and pulling your bobbin thread the same way you did when you were threading it the first time. And then you can drop your foot and begin sewing. And all you do is you keep it steady and keep going in the straight pattern of your chalk. And when you get to the end of it, you press down the foot to go in reverse, and then you go back over the stitch, trying to keep as straight a line as possible. And then when you're done with that, you take it off and you clip it. You clip all of the threads off with your scissors, and then you start on the next one. Now that you're done sewing, you're going to want to take off the foot, release it, and then you're going to have to take off the foot yet again by using that tool to loosen the screw, and it should pop off as it did before. And then you're going to be able to just remove your fabric, and you're almost all complete. Now mine is obviously not perfect because we had a loose stitch come off from the bottom of the bobbin messing up during the stitch, and that happens quite a lot as I've found. But as you can see on the right part of it and the left part of it, one I did a little thicker and one I didn't, and here are some of my examples of me trying to figure out which stitch to use. And then sometimes you'll find that the bottom, if it's messing up, it'll start tangling, and you can fix that by taking out the stitch and trying it again. Thanks so much for watching. I hope this helped a little bit.